gangsters, bro. Like, bro, this right here don't mean nothing to me, bro.
Dude, it's overstood, nigga. Now, as gangsters, nigga, until you go get right and come back.
One thing, two things. I'm right now.
Good, you lying.
Okay, let's see.
Good, you act like we.
All right, let me get beat up again.
No, nigga. Hey, you act like we telling you something wrong, bro.
No, I'm not.
You act like you telling me something wrong.
Bro, no, I'm not. Let me get beat up again.
Go get right.
Let me get beat up again.
Get right.
Man, tell him come on right here. Man, tell him come on.
With that hustle. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
Cold title. Dude look cold. He look like he could live up to a cold reputation on my mama. It's different, way on another continent. But I said, why not? This is some good content. So with no further ado, let's see what they say this vicious man has been up to.
For 8 terrifying years, one man held Uganda in a death grip. He was a figure of pure brutality, but also of such bizarre behavior that it was hard to look away. He called himself the conqueror of the British Empire and would send wild, unhinged telegrams to world leaders. But the downfall of Idi Amin, the man they called the Butcher of Uganda, wouldn't come from a global superpower. It came from a single, fatal decision to invade a neighboring country. That one mistake sparked a war that brought his bloody reign to a swift, decisive, and long overdue end. This is the story of how a tyrant's arrogance led to his own demise, and how he ultimately escaped all justice. To understand how it all came crashing down, you have to see how it was built. Idi Amin Dada Umi was born around 1925 in northwestern Uganda. He had very little formal education, and in 1946, he joined the King's African Rifles, a regiment of the British colonial army, starting out as an assistant cook. But Amin was a mountain of a man, a fearsome boxer who held Uganda's light heavyweight title for 9 straight years, and he started climbing the military ranks. When Uganda won its independence from Britain in 1962, Amin quickly became a key ally of the new Prime Minister, Milton Obote. Amin helped Obote grab more and more power, and by 1966, he was the commander of the entire armed forces. But that partnership was never going to last. Obote started getting nervous, seeing just how much power and influence Amin had with the soldiers. So, on January 25th, 1971, while Obote was out of the country at a summit in Singapore, Amin made his move. He took over the country in a military coup, accusing Obote of corruption and promising to make things stable again. At first, a lot of Ugandans actually celebrated. Amin played the part of a simple soldier, not a politician, and promised he'd hold elections as soon as things calmed down. He even held a grand state funeral for a former king who had
Look at him doing his jigger too.
died in exile, a move that won him a lot of early support. But the mask of the friendly reformer didn't stay on for long, and what lay underneath was the face of one of Africa's most monstrous dictators. Less than a year after he took power, Amin's rule had already turned into a bloodbath. His regime became a synonym for torture and state-sponsored murder. He unleashed his security forces, like the dreaded State Research Bureau, to hunt down and kill anyone he even suspected was an enemy. That building, a simple office on the outside, became a personal murder factory where people were tortured and executed every single day. He started by purging the army of anyone still loyal to Obote. The Acholi and Lango ethnic groups, which had been Obote's biggest supporters, were targeted with unspeakable violence. From there, his list of enemies grew to include judges, academics, religious leaders, journalists.
How do you get away with that type of shit? Them countries is different. In America, man, Operation Take Him Down would have been in full effect immediately. Oh, my mama.
Anyone with a voice, anyone who might dare to question him. It's estimated that during his 8 years in power, somewhere between 100,000 and 500,000 people were murdered. Amin reportedly loved to personally torture his victims, earning him the nickname that would stick forever, the Butcher of Uganda. Then, in 1972, Amin made a decision that would wreck his country's economy for decades. He declared what he called an economic war, ordering the expulsion of Uganda's entire Asian population. Tens of thousands of people, mostly of Indian and Pakistani descent. He gave them just 90 days to leave, forcing them to abandon their homes, their life's work, and their businesses. Those businesses, which were the backbone of Uganda's entire economy, were handed over to his loyal friends, who had no idea how to run them. The result was an immediate and total economic collapse that Uganda wouldn't recover from for a generation. Through it all, Amin's behavior grew more and more bizarre. He gave himself a ridiculously long list of titles, including His Excellency, President for Life, Field Marshal Al-Haji, Dr. Idi Amin Dada, VC.
He a fool with the name, sound like Dr. Umar, Ifan, Tunde, Wu, Wise, all that bush.
DSO, MC, Lord of all the beasts of the earth and fishes of the seas, and conqueror of the British Empire in Africa in general and Uganda in particular. He would send unhinged telegrams to world leaders, at one point even praising Adolf Hitler. This toxic mix of pure terror and circus-like absurdity made him a global spectacle, a living symbol of tyranny. For years, Amin's most tense relationship was with his southern neighbor, Tanzania. The country's president, Julius Nyerere, was a good friend of Milton Obote, the man Amin had overthrown. Nyerere gave Obote and thousands of Ugandan exiles a safe place to live, and he flat out refused to recognize Amin's government. The tension was always there, with Amin constantly threatening to invade and even challenging Nyerere to a boxing match. Back in 1972, a group of Ugandan exiles tried to invade from Tanzania to get rid of Amin, but they failed, which only made things worse. By late 1978, Amin's regime was starting to rot from the inside. The economy was a disaster, and people were getting restless, even in his own army. He was facing assassination attempts and mutinies, and desperately needed something to distract everyone. He found it by turning his aggression outward. In October 1978, a mutiny broke out among his troops, and some of them fled across the Tanzanian border. Using this as his excuse, Amin launched a full-scale invasion of Tanzania. His army poured into the Kagera salient, a strip of Tanzanian land. They looted, they killed civilians, and on November 1st, Amin officially announced he was annexing the entire region. It was a massive miscalculation. Amin had completely underestimated Julius Nyerere. The invasion finally convinced Nyerere that talking was over. The threat of Idi Amin had to be removed for good.
You thought they were just going to take that? Man, I know he had to prepare or be ready for war after this. Had to be.
On November 2nd, 1978, President Nyerere declared war on Uganda. He mobilized the Tanzania People's Defense Force, or TPDF, and prepared for a massive counterattack. The Tanzanian army swelled from around 40,000 troops to over 100,000, bringing in police, prison guards, and militia. Crucially, Nyerere also managed to unite the different groups of Ugandan exiles, who formed their own army, the Uganda National Liberation Army, UNLA, to fight alongside the Tanzanians. Amin was cocky. He was getting help from his ally, the Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi, who sent thousands of troops and a ton of military gear. But Amin's own army wasn't what it used to be. It was demoralized, disorganized, and full of soldiers who were more interested in looting than in fighting. They were no match for the Tanzanian-led coalition. The Tanzanians and the UNLA pushed Amin's forces out of Kagera and then crossed the border, beginning a slow, steady march into Uganda. They had a huge tactical advantage. Amin's Libyan allies were stuck on the roads with their tanks and heavy vehicles, but the Tanzanians were masters of moving through the bush. They used surprise tactics, slipping through swamps and forests to outflank their enemies again and again. In one battle after another, Amin's army was crushed. His soldiers often just abandoned their Libyan allies and ran. By early April 1979, the coalition was at the gates of the capital, Kampala. The final battle for the city began on April 10th. The very next day, on April 11th, 1979, the liberation forces marched into Kampala. They were met by massive crowds, cheering and celebrating in the streets. After 8 long years, the terror was finally over. The butcher's reign was done.
The Bible say pride go up before a fall, and a haughty spirit before destruction. And he was a cocky, haughty, prideful muff. Go on, my mama. And he fell.
As Kampala fell, Idi Amin ran. He got on a plane, supposedly with 4 of his wives and dozens of his children, and fled. He first landed in Libya, thanks to his friend Gaddafi. He later bounced to Iraq before finally getting an offer to settle in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. The Saudi government gave him asylum and a very comfortable life. A home, servants, and a generous monthly paycheck.
Man, we thought we was living a gangster life. That's gangster.
On one single condition: he had to stay out of politics. And that's how one of the 20th century's most evil dictators spent the rest of his life, in quiet, peaceful luxury. He was never held accountable. He never saw the inside of a courtroom for the torture, the mass murder, or the complete ruin he brought upon his own country. On August 16th, 2003, Idi Amin died of multiple organ failure in a hospital in Saudi Arabia.
He lived a lot of years. So my mama, 90-some years.
The butcher of Uganda escaped justice, dying a free man thousands of miles from the nation he so brutally terrorized. The fall of Idi Amin left Uganda a broken nation. His regime didn't just shatter the economy, it tore society apart. And
Is this who the rapper Idi Amin named himself after? I need to know, Idi, is this who you are? That's crazy.
left behind deep psychological scars that are still healing today. The country fell into a new era of chaos and conflict that would last for years, until Yoweri Museveni finally took power in 1986. For Tanzania, the war was a moment of immense national pride, but it came at a staggering financial cost that strained their own fragile economy. Ultimately, Idi Amin's downfall was a direct result of his own blinding arrogance. His unprovoked attack on a neighbor was the final straw for a patient leader.
If this is where Idi Amin got his name from, which now I'm pretty sure it is, just thinking about it, I bet you there's a whole, there's two sides to every story, and this story paint him as a bad guy. I bet you it's another side to the story. Just like America tried to paint Gaddafi as a bad guy. But blacks don't seem to agree with that. Oh, my mama.
Who could no longer look the other way. Amin's story is a chilling lesson in the dangers of absolute power and the catastrophic damage a single dictator can inflict. And while the man himself was never punished, his overthrow is proof that even the most terrifying regimes can be brought to their knees. His legacy is one of pure infamy and tragedy, a brutal reminder of why we must always stand against tyranny wherever it rears its ugly head. If you found this story compelling, please consider liking this video.
Yeah, that. Send your troops, cause we get busy, we don't play about shit. Let the busters off the hook and catch the big fish. Yeah, that. Send your troops, cause we get busy, we don't play about shit. Let the busters off the hook and catch the big fish. Patron with the lemon twist, just hit a big lick. All in Vegas got me feeling like a rich crib. Hold on, same jersey, I ain't never switched. Stay at the gun range, I promise I don't never miss. I dare a nigga to pull up on my passenger seat. The block full of hot boys, it's like 400 degrees. Been gangbanging since a juvenile. Check the files, it's gonna be some shit you gon' see that make it hard to smile. Like Pac said, a whole lot of bloodshed, it's part of war. Like UPS, show up at your door, special delivery. Mac with the shoulder strap, feeling like it's 10 of me. Bomb cushion Hennessy in my system, that chopper got distance. No James Bond, but I'm back on my mission. My uniform be the Michigan, counting money. And ain't gon' post it on my Snapchat to count funny. Hell no, I know my mathematics, being public. They always ask me if I'm still rapping, still crippin'. I ain't no rapper, better check my status. Show up at the meetings, phone season be the reason. Baby mama still can't believe that nigga stop breathing. We don't wanna get even, we tryna get over. It's war with the enemies, but with the homies, squabble from the shoulder. I hit a lick and pass, call my luck like nigga we up. Feeling like Kobe in the last game. Cause I go hard in the clip. These niggas mutts, I hang with pit bulls and Rottweilers. Type to squabble up and bomb on niggas like Deontay Wilder. That 40 barking, they get louder and louder. Shot spotters going off. The neighbors waking up and coming out of their houses. Yeah, this shit fucked up. That's just how the ball bounce. Shooting dice for 4 hours and smoked up a whole ounce. Pop the top off the Remy, feeling like that Charger with the Hemi. Squabble good, losses I can't name any. Chin up, chest out. Niggas just be chasing clout. Better use that GPS, I make a nigga switch routes. Free the tiny match like Baby Psych and Bad News. Hurt my motherfucking soul when I heard that bad news. Shining with a rollie on, smash like Donkey Kong. Every time we went on them missions, we brought a trophy home, a lonely road. Nightmares that the homie told, cause I fucked the bitch that he loved, and I ain't even know it. I've been through so much pain, but I don't even show it. Don't ask me if I want some get back, nigga, you know it. It's part of war. Show up at your front door. It's part of war. What the fuck you think we do it for? It's part of war. Little homies trying to up the score. It's part of war. My nigga, we love war.
Snake wasn't that personal. Big shout out to SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.